Hello, it's Rich Emmett here from richemmett.com and welcome to the second video in the Internet Zero to Internet Hero video training. It's good to see you back here. Today I'm going to discuss how much money you need to invest to succeed in internet marketing and what you need to buy, and also what you don't need to buy. And I'm going to start off by taking you through some of the email offers I've received recently, and the challenge is for you to see if you can work out which of these offers would add value to my internet business and which wouldn't add value. So here you go with the first one. How would you like a WordPress plugin that can bust out product review sites and blogs in just minutes? The more of these review sites you have, the more eyeballs you have on your affiliate links, and that means more sales. Well, on the surface that sounds like it's good to me, impeccable logic. If I've got a lot of affiliate sites and lots of people looking at them, that could mean more sales. And the cost of that plugin that can generate those product review sites so quickly and get them in front of all the eyeballs is $24.95. So probably not going to bust the bank really. $24.95. It's priced at a price that would seem reasonable, and yeah, you can see how you might make more than that back with it. So on the surface of it, that might seem like it's a good buy. Moving on to the next one then, how about this? Build an active list of buyers in less than 24 hours. Those of us with active mailing lists have an easy way to generate money on demand. Do you want this? Do you want it in the next 24 hours? Now, this arrived from possibly one of the best list builders in the business, and the price of this course that can teach me to build an active list of buyers is $9.95. Now, as we go through this course, the Internet Zero to Internet Hero course, we will be discussing list building and discussing that it is a very good way of making sales. So a course for $9.95 from one of the best people in the industry, it sounds quite good. There's probably value in that, so that's again another possible. Next up then, how about this one? WordPress is currently under attack. Your site will be hacked, and when it does, your site will be blacklisted by search engines. You will waste time sorting blacklist issues. 1 out of 4 websites will not be recovered. Your business reputation will suffer. It's going to cost to restore your site. Anybody setting up a new website will realise that you have to work quite long and hard at it. It takes a long time to establish a reputation amongst your buyers. So if your site was hacked like this and it caused all those problems, that would be fairly drastic. This bit of software being promoted is designed to prevent all of that, and the cost of this is $18.62. So in my mind I'm thinking, although I'm not entirely convinced that my site will be hacked, it may be, and if it does, $18.62 doesn't seem like a huge price to pay for preventing that. The cost of the alternative is potentially much more. Okay, so on to the next email then. What's this email? Okay, so listen, this is not a software for building backlinks. This is a software that guarantees you first page rankings and massive traffic. Now, I've got a bit of an admission to make in relation to this one, in so much as there was such a huge amount of hype surrounding this particular product that I did buy this product, and I bought it primarily to do a review on my own website at richemmett.com. That's my excuse anyway. The review of this actual piece of software would be up there, but this piece of software cost $32. So just a couple more now. What's the next one? So here we are, the best membership site system. The financial rewards of this method are massive. Not joking. They bought me a house. Wow, well that's clearly a good income generator, and the cost of that is $47. Well, if the benefits can buy a house, that's fantastic. If the benefits of this software, even come close to that, I mean, if they come to a tenth of that, or maybe even 100th of that, it's still looking like quite a good deal. So that's another possible. Okay, so do you want to see the exact 8-step process used to crush affiliate offers on Facebook? You can sell anything in the Facebook newsfeed, from t-shirts to real estate. Earn 333% return on investment in 8 simple steps. So that means that for every $100 I spend, I get $433 back, which sounds pretty good. And the cost of this one, $100. So if I'm going to get back $433 every time I spend $100, then the purchase cost of $100 sounds pretty good again to me. And one last one now, the powerful PR submitter you need. Did you know that the submitting of just one press release costs anywhere between $70 and $400? Well, now you can have the same quality of press releases as the other major press release sites for just $1.50. And that was part of a package, and the cost of that was $47 per month, which worked out $1.50 per press release. And again, press releases, they are a good means of generating traffic. If we can generate it at $1.50 instead of between $70 and $400, that looks like a pretty good deal. So the question again is, which one of these products that the emails arrive for has value, and which one of the offers has no value? Based on that, which ones should you buy and which ones shouldn't you buy? And the answer to that question isn't perhaps as simple as you might think. Now, if you're going to ask which of those products has value, well, the answer is all of them could have. It's possible that all of those have value. We've been through them and seen that some of them look like they're a pretty good deal. So just out of interest, I clocked up how much each of those would have cost if I'd bought them all, and the answer came to $279.52. And it may interest you to know that all of those offers arrived from just one website, and they arrived in my inbox in the last 2 days. And adding up the value of the items that I received again from that one website in the last week, the value of the items, if I bought all of them in the last week, would be $683.19. And doing a quick bit of maths, you'll work out that that's more than $35,000 a year. And you might be thinking, well, I haven't got $35,000 a year to be spending on those items. So the next question then is, well, which do you choose to buy and which don't you buy? My answer to that is fairly simple. And the answer to that question, at least if you're in the process of setting up and starting out an internet business, is buy none of them. And you might be thinking, well, hang on a minute, if these products have value and you can get a return on them, and please understand me, I'm not saying that these are rubbish products in any way. I'm sure that each product in its own could have potential value, but you don't need any of these products in order to establish, in order to grow, in order to make successful an internet business. And in fact, if you go purchasing these products, shiny objects as they're very often called, it's going to stand in the way of you developing your business, because the only way of developing your business is to work on it. In the early days, it's working to generate that business, which you can then use as a platform to build off and eventually automate parts of the process, automate lots of the process to bring in revenue. And obviously what this Internet Zero to Internet Hero course is about is showing you exactly how to do that, how to build that business, how to develop it and how to generate it. And you don't need any of the objects that I've shown you today, any of the shiny objects that I've shown you today in the email in order to develop your business. Now, it may be after you've developed your business, after your business is established, after you're generating revenue for yourself, after you know how to do that and bring the money in, that you look occasionally at one of these things and say, I know how I can fit that into my business very specifically. That part of the business I can automate, that part of the business I can improve, that part of the business I can accelerate my revenue growth by using one of these so-called shiny objects. But by that stage, you'll be in a much better position to determine which of the objects are useful to you and which aren't useful to you. In the early days, my advice is very simple. Don't buy any shiny objects. So if you're not buying these shiny objects, the next question is, exactly how much money is needed to establish an internet business? And the answer to that, you'll be pleased to know, is not very much at all. So how much is not very much? Well, I think before we indicated that the value of these shiny objects in the emails I'd received in the last 2 days was $280 or thereabouts, and my view is that you could establish your entire internet business, get it up and running and get it creating revenue for less than that amount. The question is often asked, can the business be set up entirely free? And I guess the answer to that is yes, it's possible. It's not what I'm going to be recommending. I think there are certain things that you need. A server is one example, a good autoresponder is another example, which will cost a bit of money. And in my view, they're going to be better and just get your business off the ground much faster than if you try and use the free alternatives. So when it's my view that I think you're far better off paying for something, I'll let you know that, and I'll provide my recommendations for that. A server being one example. I'll also flag up the free alternatives for you, but when I feel that there's something that you ought to be paying money for, I will let you know about that. Those recommendations, though, won't be including bundles of shiny objects and things to plug in and that kind of thing. Again, my very clear advice to you is, as we go through this course, if you're not already receiving those offers, if you haven't already bought a number of those offers, then when you get into internet marketing, you inevitably will start receiving offers of that nature. And my clear recommendation is, don't buy them. You don't need them. Get your business established first. Once your business is established without the need to buy those, you'll then be in a position to take a view on which one of them you want and which ones you don't want. And so in answer to the question, how much money will you need to set up your online business? I think the answer is that if you can raise $300, then you have enough to establish the business. If you can't, then it's not going to be impossible, but I just think it's going to be that a little bit harder to do it. But if you can raise that $300, I think that you're going to find that that's going to be enough to establish your internet business, get your presence, get your traffic in, start generating a revenue, and at that point you can decide on where in your business you want to invest. And that really is one of the key appeals of setting up an online business. If you compare that to an offline business, probably, I don't know many offline businesses where you're not going to have to raise potentially many times that amount in order to get established. The beauty of your online internet marketing business is that $300 will get you up and running, will get you established, and will get you to the position where you can generate a revenue. The way off is you're going to have to spend time doing it. And if you're someone that has been buying these shiny objects and you've been buying them on the promise that you won't have to spend your time and you won't have to work hard in order to make a living, well, I think it's potentially time to rethink that strategy. People do make some money sometimes with these shiny objects or the latest fad craze, but then that passes and they don't make enough to sustain a living. What we're talking about on the Internet Zero to Internet Hero course is establishing a good, long-term, solid, proper, real business. And while that's going to inevitably mean you're having to put time in, it's also not going to cost you the earth. And it's certainly not going to leave you with that empty feeling that you get when you've bought the latest plugin and it hasn't generated you any revenue, or indeed the empty pockets that would ultimately lead to. So there are some action steps associated with today's video training. The first one is to commit to stop buying shiny objects. They won't in themselves make you any money. And the second action step is to make a commitment that you're going to build your internet business properly by following the steps that we set out in this video training. And that's it until the next video training session, when we'll be discussing the type of internet business that we're going to be building.